everyone, I'm Tom Cronkright. I'm one of the co-founders of Certified, also a licensed attorney and large title agent in the state of Michigan. And I wanted to bring to you awareness around seller impersonation fraud. And seller impersonation fraud has grown now into the fastest fraud vector that we're seeing here in 2023 and will likely continue to years follow. So the way that it works is they're focused on impersonating owners of vacant property for the purpose of listing those properties on the open MLS, obtaining a contract, conducting a notary closing, and then diverting funds. So the quick flow of this, public records provide such great visibility into ownership. They'll pose as the seller, they'll contact a real estate agent. The listing price will typically come in a little bit below market, and what they're after is a quick offer, cash closing, light due diligence, and then they'll always request some type of out-of-state or remote closing option, either a notary that they're going to try to coordinate themselves, either through their attorney or something like that, or it's going to come through as you can coordinate this, and they will literally sit in front of a mobile notary with fake credentials that are pitch perfect relating to the ownership of the property. And then the mail away package comes back, the title company funds and disperses those to a fraudulent account, and the fraudster absconds with the funds. What you have to know is there's a big difference as you look to mitigate or put loss controls around this risk profile between ID validation and identity verification. So ID validation tools really are meant to analyze just the physical ID, the ID itself, like a state issued driver's license or a passport. And it validates the document itself hasn't been tampered with, but it doesn't connect to DMV, state, or federal actual databases to prove the identity of the individual. It's just proofing the document. Then you have remote notary tools. That's a live video verification. There is some ID validation to confirm likeness, but again, you're confirming likeness of the individual in front of you versus the individual on the documentation. And it doesn't secure the payment detail or credentials or details that are given to make sure that the money is flowing into the hands of the proper party. So to combat this threat, Certified recently leveraged its core technology to develop a solution that we recently released where we're going to verify the identity of the individual, gather or confirm the bank credentials early in the process, and use our technology, which is a multi-layered approach to identity verification, sharing the bank information, and then most importantly, providing the protection you and your clients deserve of the $1 million direct insurance against this type of fraud. So there's two ways to look at that. There's a very kind of manual way, and then there's the use of Certified. So again, you have to treat every vacant transaction coming in, whether it's residentially zoned or commercially zoned, agriculturally zoned, it doesn't matter. You have to raise a flag internally in your process to say, we have to assume that this is a fraudulent transaction. Then you go to the real estate agent and start to understand the source of the lead and the relationship that the real estate, typically the listing agent, has with the owner, now our seller. Contacting the seller direct and vetting them, asking for a copy of a photo ID, asking for original title commitment, closing disclosure, or settlement statement, maybe asking the seller for a more recent or most recent tax payment or proof of payment, something that's kind of out of band that only the owner would have possession of, not something they'd be able to find online. You have to prove these things, or use Certified. So again, if you think about it, it's a vacant land transaction. We have to prove it. We have to prove that it's the actual seller. It's not a fraudster impersonating the seller or the property owner. Certified then will validate the identity of the individual on the other end. We'll either collect or confirm the bank information at the start of the process. All of this takes less than 60 seconds. And if that's performed, we're able to wrap the insurance to $1 million per outgoing wire to make sure that it lands properly. I just used this Friday on a transaction out of state, vacant land deal. We have this fully vetted in our process, and we confirmed the identity of the seller early in the transaction. Now it's closing. We didn't think twice. We already had the certified certificate, and we dispersed off of that. For more information, here's a link to a website, marketingcertified.com, seller identity verification. It has everything that you need. We have the identity validation versus verification table. We have a ton of other resources and testimonials around not only this fraud vector, but how certified could be used to help solve it. So I look forward to working with you on this, and stay safe. Thank you.